Hey guys, Austin again. Sorry for the latest upload. I had the game footage done for like a fucking week, but I've been moving and shit. It's just, life's crazy. Well, anyway, as you can tell by the title, again, it's gonna be a fucking crazy one, so let's get into it. So, I used to do a lot of stupid shit as a teenager, especially in high school, but I'd argue that this one is gonna peak stupidity of my teenage years. This story time is about when I smoked weed in class with the teachers there. Yes. Now, before we get into the story, don't fucking do this. This is so fucking stupid. I could have gotten in so much trouble. Just don't do this. Blah, blah, blah. Don't fucking do it. But this story takes place in sophomore year of high school, or 10th grade. Now, in 10th grade, I was getting pretty heavy into my stoner phase. I'd recently just bought like this liquid diamond pen, and I was using that thing on the daily, bro. And one day in the middle of the year, because I had bought this in like the middle quarter of the year, I brought this pen with me to school. Now, this is a common occurrence because I was a fucking stoner, and I was almost always high at school. But I didn't intend to bring the pen this day. I just kind of wanted to not. But yeah, as I said, it would happen sometimes. Now, while I'm sitting in my first period class, like, this all starts and takes place in first period. So, I get to school. It was pretty late. I didn't get breakfast or anything, so I was just running to school, or I got dropped off. I don't remember exactly the details, but I do know that I was running late. And I go into class, and I'm sitting down. I was getting ready to just, like, kind of sit and adjust for the day. And I'm feeling around in my pocket, and I feel something. And I think to myself, oh shit, I brought my pen. And while I'm doing this and just kind of like checking my pockets and seeing it, I start to think a terrible idea. This idea was great in my head at the time, a horrible idea in the end. However, I was sitting in first period with this thing in my hand, right? I'm just vibing. And as I'm vibing, I get this idea. This idea was probably not the best idea. Probably a pretty terrible idea. But in my head at the time, I thought it was a wonderful terrible idea. I was thinking, I'm a little too sober for this class. Today is just I'm in a bad mood. I'm not having a good day today. So, I reached in my pocket, grabbed the backpack, grabbed the pen discreetly and quickly, slid the pen in my backpack, and I took a look around the room. I'm looking around, and I'm looking at my teacher, I'm looking at my other peers, my students around me, my friends, some of them, and no one's paying attention. They're all locked in on their screens, and the accounting teacher, he just was like demanding a lot of silence of us, but like focus on projects. I never really did shit. I just kind of fucked around on the computers. But this time, he was zoned out, probably doing some grading or some shit. And I go for the opportunity. I took the rip. And mind you, this pen was stank. This was rank pen. Like, this was not, because it was liquid diamonds, like, it was not on the down low. This was loud. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, pure liquid gold marijuana loud. And it's especially loud when you take a fat fucking rip from it. So I took a fat ass rip from it. And when I say fat ass, I mean I am surprised I didn't cough it out right after I took this hit. And I was holding it, and I knew if I blew it out without holding it and like kind of zeroing it, getting the smoke out, and just coating my lungs in the shit, or blowing it out in my bag, I was gonna be fucked. So I held this hit as long as fucking possible for myself. And I was just holding it. I'm trying not to cough. And then suddenly, boom. I'm like, alright, I can do this. And I blow it in the bag. And I was so lucky because I didn't cough. I didn't even clear my throat. I was just okay. However, I was not lucky on this other front because my neighbor at the desk saw what I was doing. Fortunately, I knew this kid. Let's call him Jacob. Jacob was one of the stoner kids in my school. I, in fact, had him take rips off of this very pen I was taking rips off outside of class. And he leaned over and he was like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing?" And I look at him with this devious smile. And I say to him, "Bro, I think I can get away with it again." And before Jacob can convince me to stop, of course, I'm taking another rip from the pen. And Jacob's just looking at me like, "Dude, you're so fucking stupid. Like, if you're found out, you're fucked, bro." And he's just nodding no, like, "You fucking dumbass." And I finished doing the same process again. I pull it in the bag, hold it. It was a smaller hit, so it was easier. It was basically gone. However, I was fucking gone. I was high. And Jacob, seeing me get higher and higher in that moment, started giggling a little bit. Because I got away with that shit twice, in class, with the teacher there. While I'm giggling and I'm telling him to stop giggling, and we're both trying to stop giggling, we decide, like, yeah, it's probably best if we don't, because, like, I just did something really bad, and we don't need attention drawn to us, you know? And then, yeah, while I'm sitting at my desk, I get the same urge to do it. Just one more time. You can get away with it one more time. One more time. And that's the voice in my head. One more fucking time. Yeah. And you want to know what I fucking said to that voice? Fuck it. Let's do it. So, yeah, I fucking did it again. So, I waited for a bit. I got up and I laid down at the front of the class. But then my teacher gets up and he starts leaving the class. But, like, since I was, like, kind of a shithead kid, he didn't care that I was sleeping on the floor. Like, I think he also kind of knew that I just didn't give a fuck about his class. And he didn't want to give any effort if I wasn't going to give effort either. And fair. So, he just gets up, he goes, does his thing to, like, a club thing. And I do the third rip while he's gone, and I get away with it again. And mind you, this classroom totally smelled half of skunk. I am so surprised this teacher didn't come back and be like, "Who the hell's smoking weed in here?" But yeah, I was very lucky. Now the first period bell rings, we all start to get up, and me off the floor, and Jacob starts approaching me. You'd hope the story time ends here, because I smoked weed in class already, right? But just you wait. It gets a lot better. I start to go out into the hall. Jacob's following me. He's laughing, he's messing with me, and we're just going to our next classes. And Jacob starts to go, "Man, how the hell did you get away with that? It smelled so bad in there, bro. It was hella loud." And my dumbass says, "I don't know, man. I think that teacher is a stoner, low-key." Now, I'm not one to start rumors and say shit, but, like, this teacher was way too chill for his own good. I think he totally smoked weed. And that was just a running joke at the school. You know, that's just how it was. But yeah, me and Jacob start going our separate ways, going back to our class. And we're both kind of giggling as we're saying goodbye. And this is when I start to get a little paranoid. I start to realize something as well. My backpack? Yeah, it smelled like a skunk. It smelled like a skunk who lit a blunt, farted, and shit. And I won't lie, that shit was not quiet again. And so I'm getting paranoid. I'm starting to go to my second period, and I'm pretty paranoid. And I'm just going in, and I go into class, and I still reek. And luckily, I had luck on my side to that day. Very luckily, I had a lot of luck this day. And I walked in, and I sat down, and I just tried to pay attention. I'm pretty sure this class was English. And luckily, my English teacher, he didn't really notice the smell. And it goes pretty well. I'm just paranoid, but, like, he's kind of leaving me alone because I'm, like, half asleep because I'm trying to, like, control my paranoia. And I think he just thought I was having a rough day, and he was fair because he was right. I wasn't having the best time at this point. So he just kind of left me alone, thankfully. And then, yeah, the bell rings again. I get up, pack up my stuff, start to go to third period. Second period wasn't that eventful. And third period, I was starting to come down, and there was, like, a pop quiz, and it was math. I remember that because there was, like, pop quiz. And I actually think I aced that quiz because I'm surprisingly good at math. I just don't like it. I don't like to do math. Especially when the teacher's a really good teacher, though. I'm, like, pretty good at most subjects. I just need someone to be good at teaching and enjoy teaching. That's all I require. But yeah, third period was chill, just doing math problems, doing a quiz, learning more. And after third period is lunch. And lunch, again, a little uneventful. It was about 45 minutes, like every lunch day was for me. I just kind of hated school in general, so it was nice to have like a 45-minute break before the very last class of the day. And yeah, I grabbed my lunch. I go in the lunch line. My school had actually half decent food compared to most school lunches I've seen, which definitely made it a lot easier to like eat food. And the weed definitely helped a lot too. So I went to a secluded spot I usually go to, ate some food for a sec, got bored, and decided to go back and hang with the big friend group that I had gotten together. Now, some of those homies I wasn't actually very cool with. I don't think they were true homies. I thought they were like demanding of respect when they weren't giving respect. I thought they were very disrespectful and rude. But I invited them over. I was too nice. I didn't want to like push them out, you know. So I just kind of left them in the group and didn't really do anything about it. But yeah, I was just there because I really was wanting to see my crush. So yeah, I gotta sit down with my crush, and I'm high, and I'm just vibing, sitting next to my crush. We're talking, and I remember the entire group goes into this conversation about like eating disorders and anorexia. Now, if you know anything about me, I'm a pretty big advocate for this stuff, and I think talking about it's a good thing. But I wasn't in the mood to talk about it, and I wanted to leave the conversation. So I start to get up and leave, and unfortunately, because I had food on my plate still and I wanted to finish it, but right as I get up to leave so I can go finish it because I'm sick of that conversation, the bell rings. And I'm like, fuck this shit. And I throw this shit away. And I was just not hungry because it ruined my mood. As I'm pulling up to fourth period, I start to spiral even more, and I'm getting into more and more of a bad mood. So I get another idea. And if you think that idea was, did you smoke weed in class again? You're dead fucking accurate. So I decided to go to my fourth period and just smoke weed in there. Because, it'd be too much of a pain to go to the bathroom, right? Now, keep in mind, my first period teacher, again, was, chill as fuck. My fourth period teacher, oh god, she was super strict. She was funny, she was great, she was a good teacher. Holy fuck was she strict. But I get in her class, and I'm waiting for her to start her lecture. And I've got this friend in there, and we'll call this friend Emmy. Emmy was one of my few friends that knew I smoked hella weed. Emmy also kind of smoked weed with me here and there, and Emmy was hella chill. And I just start pulling out the pen to show her in class while the teacher starts her lecture. And she goes, yo, put that away. And my dumbass says, nah, watch this. And I put the pen in the bag, and I take a fat rip again. Mind you, the teacher thought we were all taking notes, like every student. And so she's watching for people not taking notes. And I'm just ripping the pen. I start to feel the strongest urge to cough in my entire life. And I was holding it, I'm holding it. And finally, after a few solid seconds, I release it into my bag again. I'm starting to feel the effects hit pretty hard at this point now. Then I let it go, and it's out, right? And I just kind of clear my throat, which puts the attention on me from the teacher. And she comes over to me, and she goes, are you paying attention? I'm thinking to myself, oh fuck, I need to get her away from me now. I smell like weed, I just took a hit. So I said, yeah, sorry, I had something caught in my throat. And mind you, I had, again, just blown this hit out in my backpack. And she asks, why are you in your backpack? When I tell you the world froze for a split second in that moment, the world froze for me. And I had a very clever idea, because where the pen that I was taking a rip from was actually right next to a black pen, a black ink pen that I had in there. And we were taking notes using pen. I was super lucky in this scenario. And so I tell her, I forgot my pen. Now, when I say my luck was maxed out for the day, I mean it. She somehow, for some reason, believed me. And that's why I'm saying, I completely lucked out here. I pulled out the pen, I showed it to her, and I was like, I didn't have a pen out, I was just getting pen for the notes. And she was like, whatever, pay attention and stop being a little shithead, Austin. And I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am. And I just continued to try to pay attention for the rest of class. And luckily, while I was kind of blasted, I was able to kind of feign innocence because I had a high tolerance. And it would just like kind of, I came down a lot quicker than most people would have. And I was able to just make it through class and be okay. And after class, Emmy and I are out in the halls together. And Emmy's telling me, yo, you're so fucking stupid. You almost got caught. And I say, I did it in first period too. And Emmy just kind of shakes her head and is like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're way too fucking lucky for your own good. And after that, we both just start heading to our parents' car and we're kind of laughing about it. We said goodbye and went our separate ways. And I went home and I just kind of did the same thing. I smoked weed. But like, yeah, the craziest part about this is I never got caught. Like, I was never caught. Well, moral of the story is, don't fucking do this. I was insanely lucky in this story time. The fact I got away with this is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know how I did this. Again, don't smoke weed at school. Don't bring weed to school. Don't do weed at school. Again, and don't do weed before school. Just don't do weed before you're 21. Let's say that. And anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope y'all are having a great rest of your week or day, whatever time it is. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.